Sit close. This story isn't easy to tell, but it must be told, especially to those of us who still walk between rage and loss, between silence and howl. This is the story of the one-eyed fury, the owl-touched, the girl who lost her forest but never her fight. She was born as Gaia willed it, in fur, fang and wind, a true wolf born under a sickle moon in the mountains of Greece, called Zephyr by her kin for how she moved like a whisper through trees and stone. Her pack ran free, untouched by the worm, but untouched too by the human world. Until they came. Hunters, not out of hunger or desperation, but for sport. They brought silver-jacketed bullets and laughing cruelty. They killed her siblings, her mother. One bullet caught her in the face, ripped through her eye, and with it, everything she was shattered. The change came fast, violent. Rage consumed her. She tore them apart, a fury reborn in blood. But when it ended, her family lay in pieces, and she stood not as a wolf, but something more, something new. Garou. She was guided to a black fury pack by a strange owl spirit. They took her in, scarred, half-blind, burning with sorrow. Their alpha was a third named Mother's Echo, a wise woman who said the spirits had whispered of Zephyr's coming in dreams. With her were Rips the Bind, fierce as thunder, and Trickster's Lament, whose eyes danced with riddles. They made her part of their family, their pack. And then the spirals came. It began with the stench of rot on the wind. Then the ground shook. Then the howls. Black spiral dancers, too many to count, bursting from the umbra like tumours. The sept stood their ground. They fought as heroes do. Zephyr was deep in the fray when she heard it, the scream of Mother's Echo. She turned, and her heart died. Echo was caught in the grip of living wrappings, fetid, oily tendrils of cloth that wrapped and twisted and fed, devouring her slowly. The dancers laughed. Zephyr howled. She leapt into the storm of them, tearing, biting, calling on her rage, until her hands were caked in flesh. She reached Echo and ripped the wrappings from her with a clip's fang, breaking their cursed hold. Echo was barely breathing. Zephyr lifted her, sprinting through the chaos, dodging claws, arrows, silver and spite. She plunged into the forest with her mentor in her arms. She reached the edge of the cairn. The moon shone down through the trees. Mother's Echo smiled. Her voice was a thread, thin and fading. You saved me, child. Gaia bless you. But my journey ends here. She placed the torque around Zephyr's neck. The silver gleamed like starlight. The whispering veil is yours now. Speak to the dead. Listen to the forgotten. Carry the wisdom I no longer can. And then, she was gone. Zephyr screamed at the moon that night, not in rage, but in grief. But grief is not the end for the Garou. She followed her owl and wandered, going from cairn to cairn. At each one she offered her strength. At each she was met with mistrust. Some saw her as cursed, the sole survivor of a lost sept. Others feared the owl that followed her, but Gaia does not abandon her own. One night, under a waxing moon, Zephyr arrived at a hidden cairn, its stones etched with symbols older than cities. There an elder stood waiting. A black fury, sister to Zephyr's fallen pack leader, her presence quiet as snowfall, her eyes the colour of a storm-swept sea. I knew you would come, she said softly, the wind catching her voice like a prayer. But you cannot stay. Gaia calls you now. The Council of Three has summoned you. They have seen the shape of your path and believe it winds through the heart of Gaia's will. The spirits whisper your name in storm and silence alike. She stepped aside, revealing the shimmer of the moon bridge behind her. Will you walk it? Zephyr, without a word, stepped forward. A ribbon of moonlight unfurled from the cairn, solid and glowing. The moon bridge shimmered like silk. She took one last look behind her, at the forest, at the spirits watching. Then she stepped forward into moonlight, into fate. And that is where her legend begins. If you ever find yourself in a place where the veil is thin and you hear the flap of owl wings or see a woman with a single burning eye talk gleaming at her throat, know this. Zephyr Lucas walks with purpose. She walks with grief. But more than that, she walks with Gaia's will in her heart. And she will not stop until the worm is ash and the fallen are heard.